When I was 10, I dreamt of being a pilot. The idea of mastering the skies, soaring above the earth, that just filled me in awe. But my dream never took off. My parents gently told me, son, we just can't afford the flight school. So my dream never really took off, but something else was taking flight. It was my curiosity to learn how things around me worked. When I was in my childhood, I used to dismantle my toys just to see how things worked. I used to remove the components like motors, light bulbs, switches, just to make projects of my own. I didn't know it back then, but I was actually building on my passion. My curiosity and interest got me into engineering. There's a saying, find a job that you enjoy doing and you'll never have to work a day in your life. It's quite effective and it's a beautiful advice, right? But life doesn't always work that way. Hi, I'm Navajith Karkera. I'm an engineer turned entrepreneur. Over the last decade, I've co-founded a deep tech hardware startup and I've built products that is used by customers across the world. So my interest got me to engineering, and that's where my projects kind of kept evolving. So I used to experiment different things, and I ended up developing a technology that helps improve the sound experience. So for about 3 to 4 years, I worked on it. And then at the age of 22, when I graduated, I decided to work on this technology and build my own startup venture so that it can be used by people across the world. So for another 3 years, I worked on refining the technology and working on the product so that I can use it and ship it to customers across the world. But I soon realized that building a product is just one part of it, because I had to learn a lot of things that is required to now market and sell the product. So for the 6 years that I worked on mastering my craft of building technology, I now had to start completely from scratch, which is to learn marketing, business, sales. And that kind of took me aback. So that's okay. Generally, when you look at life or when you look at people, ideally you would want to work on things that you love doing the most. But life puts its own obstacles. Maybe it's financial constraints, lack of support from your friends or family, or even societal norms. So these things I've seen many people couldn't follow their passion because of these reasons. So on the other side, there are a lot of people who don't know what they're passionate about. And that's okay too. Over your journey, there are a lot of things that you can experiment. There are a lot of interests that you can pursue. And you will find your own passion through that. Take Steve Jobs, for example. He didn't start with a clear vision of starting Apple. In fact, he dropped out of college, wandered for years, learning calligraphy, experimenting with early stage tech folks, even diving into different interests. And in that journey, he started to figure out his purpose, and he ended up starting Apple. So you may never know what you're passionate about, and you can still figure out what drives you. You can pursue different interests and see what is it that drives you and keeps you awake, and you can try to build a career out of it. So in my case, I thought that working on tech is something that will that keeps me excited, but I had to now switch to a completely different role, and I had to start from scratch. So I ended up working on things that I never had an experience on. So I don't come from a business background, or nor did I study business, but I still had to pursue it. So in that span, I ended up being in a position that was very discomforting because I never learned the craft. And at that time, I had to be pushed because I've developed a product, but now I had to sell it. So while working on it, even though it was uncomfortable, I slowly saw the impact that it had. The impact of crafting marketing communication, the impact of building a business plan, and seeing the product that I've built being ordered by people. So in the course of this journey, I had to change my passion. My passion evolved. So did my work. And that's okay too. You may end up working on your passion initially, but over the course of time, that would evolve. And you should just be mindful of that evolution and pursue that. So in short, if you have to see overall, ideally it is important to work on your passion and try to build a career out of it. But maybe because of multiple reasons, because of limitations, because of constraints, you may not be able to pursue it. So at that time, you just have to see the impact that your work drives. See, even if it's a small or a big role, even if you're working for not-for-profit or in a startup or in a large company, even if you're working on the floor or leading the company, see the impact of your work, see what drives and the change that brings. So yes, if you're able to work on your passion, that's great. You're really very fortunate. If not, find the purpose of your work and that will drive you. So I would like to end by saying that passion is something that drives people. If you're able to craft your passion, you can discover it, you can find your purpose along the way. And when your passion evolves, embrace it and evolve yourself. Thank you.